The video for the word access. This is the first word in week 4 of quarter 2 of English 1. And one thing to notice about this word is the pronunciation. So in Spanish it's acceso, but in English it's a little bit different. These two letter C's together are, they're not too common in English, but when you do have them, two C's next to each other, they actually pronounce like an X, como X. So access, access, like a letter X. Imagine that those two C's are a letter X. And access is acceso in Spanish. It is the main definitions of it are the noun definitions. There are two noun definitions. Noun 1, a way of entering or reaching a place, or noun 2, the opportunity or right to use something or to see somebody or something. It has two word families, accessibility, which is a noun, and accessible, which is an adjective. Accessible, accesible, you can get into it, something that it's possible to get into. Accessibility means is it the state of being possible to get into something. Synonyms for access are admission, entrance, and I think except for those two because we have no verb. Okay, well these are synonyms actually for this verb meaning. So the last thing I wanted to say is that it's less common, but access can be used as a verb, and when it's used as a verb it means to get into something. And so in that way these could be somewhat related to that. The main synonyms though are going to be admission or entrance, I think. These are not used as much. And opposite for access could be denial, refusal, or inaccessibility, not being able to get into something. Inaccessibility, not being able to get in, versus access, being able to get in. And let's look at some examples with the different definitions. So the first definition is, as a noun, a way of entering or reaching a place. So we can say, for example, the door will give us access to the room. So if you get through this door, you enter the code and it will give you a way to get into the room. Without that door being unlocked and open, you cannot get into the room. So access is a way, una manera, of getting into a room. I should say that this is not on the card, but it's also a common use of the word access now, is we talk about access for the internet access. And that's a big issue right now, of course, with the pandemic, with everything being online. We want to make sure that all the students have access to the internet to be able to come to class. And so that's similar to this. It says a way of entering or reaching a place. The only thing is the internet is not a physical place. But in the same way, internet access means being able to get into it. To be able to go in and find what is there, see what is there, the way you would access a space or a room. Definition 2 is not so much about a space, it's more about the opportunity or right to use something or to see somebody or something. So we use this a lot they talk about access to like famous people or people in the government. So here's an example. It says, access to the president is important for politicians who want to get things done in Washington. So if you have access to the president, that means the president has a limited amount of time in the day. And there are hundreds of people who want to talk to the president every day. So only a few of them get access, which means they can go in and see, looking at the definition, being able to, having an opportunity or right to see somebody. So people who have access to the president, they can go talk to the president. That means that they can get things done because they can tell the president what they want. So they are able to see the president. And with this definition of access, we often use the word to after it. So like, I have access to the president. I have access to something. Or it says the right to use something. So it could be, do you have access to... We can use it in computers also to talk about like data. Like maybe there's data that is only certain people can see because it's confidential in a company or in an organization, and then who has access to it. For example, a teacher has access to the grades of all of the students, but each student only has access to their own grades because there are laws that say and rules that say that Grades are confidential information, and so like a teacher can't give one student another student's grades. Only each student gets their own grades. You have access to your own grade, not to other people's grades. So that means you have the right to see your grades. And we use the word to again. When we use access with that meaning, we use the word to with it. And one more thing I need to tell you is an example sentence with some relation to English class. So here's a sentence with English class. It says you have access to definitions of words in your dictionary. So that means that if you want to find definitions of words, you can look in a dictionary, either a paper dictionary, or now many people go online to like dictionary.com or something like that. That works too. But that's where you find access to definitions. All right, thank you very much.